standing here at the CallRevu booth at NADA 2023 with Dave and Scott. We've got the head of sales, the VP of product, and we're hanging out talking a little bit about phones, which I'm telling you what, guys, this is the most riveting conversation of the day always, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
Always gets a lot of conversation going, for sure.
yeah, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people would argue that, like, hey, we're moving to this text thing and we're emailing and it's a digital revolution. But the reality is that connection via phone and making sure that we're digitizing that experience and understanding all the data analytics is a big part of what you're doing. How are you all leaning into this digital evolution in an ecosystem that may look traditional to some people?
So, obviously over the last, our industry in the last 12 to 18 months has experienced, just exponential gains in sales and volume, and during obviously an inventory shortage. But now as inventory starting to return to lots, and we start seeing, affordability shrinking, it's more and more difficult to get those customers in, and it puts more pressure inside of the system to make sure that you're doing a great job in how you communicate with dealers. And obviously the telephone is not going away, as you pointed out. I mean, it's still the number one favored, preferred communication method that we have today. So we're, we prepared for this and several years ago, and so we're now well ahead of where many of our competitors are, and we're prepared to serve the dealers out there.
Yeah, Scott, as we've had these inventory issues, even as inventory is coming back, service has been a growing and massive part of a dealer's business, and the phone is still way more than even sales as a percentage, the primary way in which customers choose to interact with the service department. How are you leveraging technology and your product enhancements in order to serve dealers as they're serving customers in service?
Great question. So first, the volume of calls into a service center has, even pre-pandemic, always accelerated over sales calls. Like, since the pandemic and since the inventory shortage and since the interest rates have been on the rise, people keeping their cars longer, that volume of calls has gone up. We've seen about 15% month over month growth over the past 9 months, ish. So it keeps ratcheting up. How are we dealing with it? Well, we track all the calls, and we have machines that process all those calls and help our dealers understand what's going on the calls. Why are customers calling? Is it to book service? And did they get their appointments booked? Are they calling in for status check of the cars, which is really bad? All of what we do is really around service is really focused on helping service centers understand the customer's experience to make sure that that customer is well satisfied so they keep coming back. When inventory levels come back up, they're going to start selling those people that they're servicing today those new cars, and that's what we help our customers do.
Yeah, for me, like, the theme of our day so far has been customer lifecycle management, and none is that more true than making sure you answer the phones and making sure that customers are well served, especially in their highest touch point, which is service. Now, you've mentioned that, like, you're making decisions on how to communicate things like how customers are being served and customer experience, but when it comes to the actual technology, you're really looking at an intelligence platform here, what you've built at CallRevu. What are the intelligent things that you're doing in the platform to raise awareness or serve customers better?
So one of the things, our signature benefit, which thousands of dealers and OEMs really prefer, is the fact that we go one step beyond AI and machines. We have human agents that actually listen to every call. They read the transcription. They go back and listen to the call again, and they summarize that call. And we do that in a rapid response rate of time. And so Ensure really allows us to be able to get that telephone call, that opportunity, whether it's an outbound call or an inbound opportunity, to the appropriate people if there's a way to improve on that opportunity or salvage a missed opportunity. And it can be such as, an offline call, where a customer is expected to be a return call. We want to get that elevated and get that in the hands of inside of that department to ensure that that customer is reached in a timeline. Because, again, retail is detail. And, when you think about our space and how customers want to interact, I was meeting with a dealer today and I said, they want an Uber experience, right? They want to know when the car's going to be here, what time it's going to be here, who's going to be picking me up, and at what, and what their plate numbers and everything else. So because of that, we've set this experience that customers expect and from all facets of life. So we help you do that as a dealership, and very proud to be doing it.
Well, as the VP of product, you're probably constantly figuring out how to innovate, how to move the technology platform forward to support your agents, support your dealers, support customers. What do you have any current innovations that you're kind of either working on, have just come out with, or are the ones that you're really excited about here in the near future?
Well, yes, we are continuing to build out our AI models to be smarter, to be able to be, we've always done automotive centric. It's all about dealerships, right? We're going to stick with that, but we're going to get a lot smarter and a lot deeper. We're going to do a much better job understanding the original intent of calls, the final outcome of calls, stitch separate calls together so we can understand when somebody says, hey, let me go check on that inventory, make sure it's actually here, and I'll call you back. When they call back, pick up that call and kind of complete that customer conversation. And many other things. And I also want to add one other thing that Dave mentioned around the fact that we have the humans that review these calls to ensure accuracy. That makes our platform more accurate than anybody else on the market, which means dealers can trust that their calls are actually being processed and they're getting all the data, all the richness of the value from that conversation in our platform. But we're also taking what the humans do and we're feeding that back into our machines to make our machines even smarter. So we're continually educating ourselves through our own platform. It's kind of self-learning, and that elevates what we're doing and provides even more value to our customers through that the rich data that we're able to harvest out of those conversations.
Yeah, what I love about that is you have been very, very intent on connecting people, process, and technology. And what that allows you to do is move faster and further because there's always a human element to every business interaction. So kudos to you. Thanks for spending some time with us, sharing about a lot more about your product, how you're serving customers and dealers, and excited to see what you come up with next and how you continue to serve dealers.
Thanks for coming by today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.